It should have turned on.
Oh, it's on.
Is it recording?
Yep.
Oh, sweet. Alright. Clutch fluid.
So guys, if y'all want to know what's happened, they've changed these bolts out like 6 times.
We didn't have to put that in. Lesson learned is to make sure when you pull a motor out of a foreign car with a foreign motor in it, that you put your bolts in bags.
You see them bolts right there?
No, yeah, these ones.
Mm-hmm.
These happen to be the ones that fit,
Mm.
and they happen to not fit all the way into the flywheel. But now we can confirm that we know what we're talking about.
So these ones, the smaller ones were
These go into the flywheel. The longer ones go into the bell
to the
housing.
bell housing, right?
So, needless to say, we've been long.
What did you say? Did you say long?
I'm tired.
We've been long.
We've been long.
Mm-hmm.
Not tired, John. We're just
Yeah.
getting started.
That's
dude.
right. The night is young.
You told me we was getting it.
We are getting it in.
Getting it.
It will be driven.
Tonight.
Well, you don't have a low pressure sensor, which you don't really need.
John, don't blow my shit up.
He's like, just go with it.
Oh, bro. Got it on there.
These boys are about to get destroyed in beer pong later.
We're getting buckets. I don't know what Heather and Olivia.
She got lost his mind. Livy's never played beer pong,
Oh, shit.
and she's my partner.
So yeah, we got to put the transmission on, fluids, which we could do once in the car.
This lighting is making you look like you got lipstick on.
Anyway, what else we guys doing? Yeah, we're putting the motor in the car today. This is about as informational as I can be right now.
Is there another bolt over there?
What all do you have to put on the motor to put it in?
Stuff. Oh, to put it in? Literally nothing.
Yeah, we'll just look. I just need the 2 bolts that I have not seen
Oh, I'll say that.
for the.
Oh, the nuts?
Yes.
They're they're by the tire, one of the tires. For the motor mounts,
Do you have to hook the tranny up before you put it in?
that's how we pulled it out, so that's how we're gonna put it back in. Yep. Needless to say, we're about there, my friend. Ain't gonna lie to you. I would never. I would never
What?
lie to you. Yeah, we're about done.
Why did it take us that long?
No. It's
we
because
just talking?
I'm cursed.
How long did it take y'all to put this on?
2 hours? What time is it?
5:40.
2.5 hours? Yeah, so we're going to bolt this and the trans up. Then we'll be back. Because we'll be putting it in the motor. We'll time lapse that so you guys can kind of see the struggle of it. But yeah, so we'll be back.
Here, hand me that crowbar. That what?
There we go.
The crowbar.
So, in order to get this in, you have to loosen the whole subframe. Well, we're trying to get this last one in right here. Flashlight. Not flashlight. There's the mount hole right here. Well, we're using the weight of the motor to lower down the cross member from the frame. Then we're going to put this nice little sheet of metal C-channel here. So when we jack the motor back up to get it in this hole, it'll keep the cross member from coming up as well. So there's that tip, and then we'll knock that in real quick and then come back. So booyah, booyah. One of the pains in the butts. Yeah, it's you can tell it was the next day. I don't know how much footage of that was any good. We got the motor mounted in, trans mount mounted, and then we just all started playing beer pong. So after we mounted it to the frame, we just stopped because he left the oil pressure sensor at home, which is not a big deal. So he's gonna come by tomorrow. So since he's gonna be gone, I'm gonna hook up the harness for him today. Everything that I can, kind of get it up, figure out everything, layer it all out, clear it up, and then put a starter on. And I ordered some there's the ping pongs. Ordered some, I don't know where it's at. That heat lava or that wrap. It's like wire wrap. I put it somewhere around there. You put it around your wire. It's like a heat shield. We're gonna put that by his starter. I was gonna do it on mine too. So I bought like a 8-foot roll of it, and I'm gonna do that for him. Get the starter put in. I'll probably post this video tonight, and we'll do a part 2 when he's here. Cause there's still a lot we gotta do, but we found out how we were gonna mount his fuel stuff. We were gonna mount it here, but putting the motor in, it's such a close. Plus we're worried about it being too close to the headers, so we're like, we'll wait on it. You know, we won't do that. But I mean, there's really not much left to do. It's just making sure we got it all good. But basically, we're gonna do that. We also discussed on his car, he's got the GTO. I think I talked about it in the video before. He's got the GTO style shifter, and it's too loose. So we're gonna put a normal F-body short throw in it, and then bend the arm back some, kind of like a hot rod, so it's back in that spot. But he'll be able to do reverse and everything really good. And that's about it, really. Definitely, if you're doing this, have a couple of guys help you, because it's a pain in the butt. We knocked the whole subframe down, and then we put everything loose together, and then tightened everything up. So now everything's tight, but it's definitely, I don't know how he did it by himself the first time. I'm genuinely impressed, because yeah, this thing is a pain in the butt. But we're gonna get it all figured out right here. I'm gonna hook up his heater core hose and shit and get it. He's got a exchanger block right here. Basically what this is going to do for us is it's a see-through, but it's got these nuts. So if I mount it up here, it'll be the highest point of the motor, so that'll be his air bleeder. So when we bleed the whole system, I can crank that loose and let the air hiss out, tighten it up, do it a couple of times, drive it a little bit over and over again, get it done. So yeah, I'm gonna cut it here. When you're doing this with the LOJ pan in a T56, so you got your starter right here. Here's your starter bolts, right? Well, that's the normal length, right about there. You can tell I cut just a smidge off for the inside. When you're putting the starter in, his stupid LOJ pan, I don't know why the guy made it this way, but you have to put this bolt in here. And this is just enough room to slide it in between the pan and the block, and then go up and thread in. So I'm gonna have to hand thread this one in a few bit, and then the other one, the big boy one, I can put on after I get it all worked up in there. So I'm gonna do that, get that wire heat wrapped and taken care of, And that'll be it. We'll go from there and get her done. Alrighty, so I mounted the passenger side header just to see how much room I'd have done here for the starter ignition wire. And I got it all lava heat wrapped and everything. Put the crank position sensor in its spot, just to kind of see what kind of area we got going on here. Of course, this harness will be laying over the motor in the back, but we won't need this because we're running off the MAF. But we're gonna pull it out of that hole, and that's where right down here is where the ignition is. What I'm thinking about doing is I'm probably gonna loosen this off again, and I want to go under there and drill a hole in the floorboard corner, way back here, straight down, and then I want to run it all the way across the frame to this little old brake line, zip tie to there, and then it'll bridge right over to the starter. And from the looks of it, that would be like, if I was inside the car, it would be pretty much right. Here's all that wire we got for the ignition. It'd be right here, straight down. Just a nice old weep hole right here. If I can get this out, you can barely see in here, but drill straight through there, wham, from the bottom, of course, so I can find the hole from up here. Whammo, and then we'd have it tucked away from the header, just completely, so we'd get that out of the way. We could run the wire up to the top, like if we wanted, we could run it back up here, but if we did that, it's still going to have to go around this header. I don't want that. And of course, it's going to be boosted eventually, but for now, we have it mount down here, and I have it run all the way, put a little self-tap mount down there, the bottom, to keep it completely to the frame because we have so much room for it. I think that's the best bet, safely bet. And this vacuum line will be going through here for his Holly stuff for the next time we get over here. I need 2 hands or 2 people for that, but I think I'm going to do that actually. I'm going to mount that down there, and then we'll have that hole cleared up, and we'll put some heat tape on there for now, and then when we get ready to pull the motor out for paint and body and all the other stuff in the future, we can do that, or we can weld a patch from the inside to it, seal it up real good. And then this all, of course, lays in the back, which we're going to actually have it mounted up here because I have a whole bunch of these I ordered, and we're going to run this all, figure this all out. But I think that'll be it for today, honestly. That was I took my time on that, about 2 hours, just making sure everything's good. The way we have it set now, I think that'll be the go-to spot. So I'm gonna FaceTime him real quick. If he says yes, I'll go under there, drill the hole, loosen that up, feed it through it, and then call it for there. But yeah, pretty stoked. So that'll be the end of this one for now. Keep getting missed calls from random numbers, so I'm gonna end it there, do a part 2 when he gets here, and we should be able to start it up. We got to figure out the whole CSR or the V-mount. I forgot the name of the company. He tried emailing them like 8 times. They don't give him any kind of instructions. There's just a photo of it, just a V-mount radiator. So I mean, if I was a company selling an LS-swapped V-mount radiator for a car, I would have instructions. It's just me. I'm just saying it's kind of dumb. But whatever. We'll figure that part out when we get ready to start it up. But yeah. That's the end of this one. Stay tuned. So if you guys are still interested, keep in touch. Hit subscribe. And probably next episode, this thing will be on the ground on its own power. Boot. So that's the goal. So we'll see y'all later. Deuces. Rashawn's not here to say deuces, but I'm sure he says deuces. We're out.